At 9 a.m. on Monday morning, all the freshmen are gathered in the gymnasium, wearing capes and robes just like me, but they're not completely like me. One boy has furry ears and a long fluffy tail. One girl has glittering wings. And that girl looks like a vampire. Is that what it means to be a witch? Being something other than human? I mean, Virginia looks normal, but she could be hiding something under her robes. No, that's just silly. The muttering and shuffling of students drops off as someone steps up to the podium.
Hello, my little flower buds. Welcome to Iris Academy.
I start to applaud, but I freeze as I realize no one else is. Then Virginia beside me picks up the clapping loudly. Soon the whole room is cheering. The witch holds up her hands and the room settles back into silence.
My name is Professor Potsdam, and I will be one of your instructors in the ways of magic. For some of you, this is the beginning of an adventure such as you have never imagined. For others, it is only the next step in a journey you have been expecting all your lives. At Iris Academy, we teach spelling using the pentachromatic system. Red magic is forceful, but not necessarily violent. Blue is the color of transformation and change. Green is the color of life and the world of plants and animals. White magic affects the mind and spirit. Black magic is contained within physical objects. Your palette should contain at least a few dabs of every magical color, but a beautiful painting doesn't need every shade. It's style that matters. You all have different strengths, different talents. Here at Iris Academy, we embrace that diversity and tailor your education to your needs. Choose your schedule to focus on your personal talents. Don't become a reflection of your classmates. Follow your own star, wherever it may lead you. That is the way in which you're all alike. You each have your own future, and I know you will make us proud.
Her starry-eyed way of speaking reminds me a little bit of my old school's guidance counselor. But she certainly seems nicer than Professor Grabiner. I wonder which classes she teaches.
You have been divided into halls to help you make friends with classmates who share similar interests. For the girls, we have the adventurous horses, the charming butterflies, and the mysterious snakes.
Each group claps their hands as the name is called. The horse is louder than the others, or perhaps that's just because I'm sitting with more of them.
For the boys, we have the daring wolves, the elegant falcons, and the eldritch toads.
I'm not sure what eldritch means, but toad sounds even worse than snakes.
I hope you'll all become good friends, not just in each hall and not just in your year, but throughout the whole academy. But, more importantly, I hope you'll get to know and trust your roommates, so that by the end of the year you'll be able to work as a team for your final exams. And I know you're all looking forward to your exams, yes?
The audience predictably groans.
For testing purposes, your instructors will regularly set you practical challenges in the school dungeons.
The school has dungeons?
Each task has many possible solutions. You'll need to make creative use of the spells you have chosen to learn. So think ahead about what might be useful and how. Okay, are you all ready for magic? Open up your diaries and begin penciling in your schedule.
I need to choose which classes to attend this week. There are classes for each kind of magic plus general studying, which sounds boring, and gym class, which I've always liked. I can also schedule free time to relax and unwind. For most of my life, my classes have been planned out for me by my school. It wasn't until last year that I got to make any choices at all. Cantonese, French or Spanish, physics, chemistry or biology. Still, everyone had to have the same number of classes, and they all started and ended at the same time. You couldn't get out of it. If I can choose whatever schedule I want here, what would happen if I never went to classes at all? Would they really let me get away with that? What should I do this week? Okay, so as for this character, I haven't really thought how I want to tailor this character. I believe that last time my character was more focused around blue and black magic, if I'm correct. So this time, I'm thinking maybe we go for... I know, let's go for white magic a few times. Actually, firstly let's start off by doing one in everything. And let's do some gymnastics as well in the middle of the week. So let's go for that. So on Monday, 2nd of September, we start off with our red magic class. Uh-oh, this is one of his classes. Get to your seats. Hurry up. No chatter. In this class, carelessness might cost you your fingers.
He wouldn't really cut off Steve's fingers, would he?
Here you'll be learning the seductive art of red magic, the evocation and control of energy. With this power you might summon a breeze, or light a fire, or candle a distant object to hand. Or call a distant object to hand. I'm pretty sure I said or candle a distant object to hand. I say that it is seductive not because of the power itself, but because simple mind prefers simple solutions. Blast your enemies with lightning, tear buildings apart with earthquakes, let the world around you burn. Fall victim to such vulgar fantasy, then you'll leave yourself vulnerable to those capable of more creative thought. There are many approaches that direct force alone cannot defend against.
He snaps his fingers in the air.
One inattentive moment and you lose control of the forces that you have summoned. After that, you'll only be remembered as an unpleasant stain on the walls.
He rubs his hands together and gives a nasty smile.
Now for your lessons. So we just went into the next day, on September 3rd, and it's another one of Grabiner's classes.
Uh-oh, this is one of his classes.
Mill about all you like, it's your own time you're wasting. I have no objections to failing the lot of you at the next exam.
A flurry of robes as students scramble for seats.
Here you'll be learning the subtle art of blue magic. At least, some of you will. I thoroughly expect the subject to go over some of your heads. Blue is the color of change. That is, altering what is already there. Not creating, not destroying. It is commonly used in conjunction with other magical styles in order to perform alchemical transmutations and other alterations of essence. Blue magic can also be used to change the effects of an existing spell, to cast or dispel illusions, or to change location without movement through intervening space. For a skilled blue magician, reality is fluid. All things can be changed, yet few minds are capable of grasping the true range of possibilities. We will see what you're worth.
There don't seem to be any teachers assigned to the gym, just a bunch of equipment that everyone can use. I see a pile of large rubber balls. If I can organize some people together, maybe we can play prison ball.
Well, hello there.
I turn to see you speaking. Whoa! Who or what is that? He's dressed like a student, but I'm sure I didn't see him at orientation. I'm sure I would have noticed. Why do you have wings? If that's not a rude question. He chuckles.
You're new at this, aren't you?
Uh-huh. He takes a step closer to me, wings extending slightly to catch the air.
You've never seen anyone with wings before.
No? I'm sort of wild seed.
And a lovely blossom you are.
But really, I don't know how things work. Is that normal for born wizards to have wings?
Normal? I'd rather not have you think of me as anything so ordinary. Wings can merely be a fashion statement. They're available at your local store if you'd like your own.
You can buy wings?
Are you teasing me?
Yes and no. You'll have to discover the truth for yourself. My name is Damien. And you are?
Kaylee. He takes my hand and bows over it, wings fluttering behind his back.
A pleasure to meet you.
Damien. That's sort of an unfortunate name, isn't it? Especially with those wings. People might think you're actually a devil.
I'm sure you know better than to judge by appearances.
You don't know me.
I know the important things. You're a freshman student, an innocent young woman caught up in a world you don't understand. You're dazzled by sights you never thought possible, and completely unaware of the dangers you might face.
What dangers?
You could lose your mind here, or your life, or worse. Not everything is as it seems, especially your teachers.
What should I do?
Be cautious. Attend at least the first lecture for each style of magic as soon as possible. Pay attention to what they tell you and what they don't. And don't believe everything you hear.
That's not entirely helpful.
You better get on with your physical training. You'll need your strength next week.
What happens next week?
You'll find out.
He winks at me and walks off to the sports equipment office. How strange. In the late afternoon, I'm sitting on my bed with a magazine when I hear a groan.
Ah!
She drops her notebooks on the floor, causing it to shed a couple of loose pages. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Just school.
She falls backwards onto the bed and kicks off her shoes, letting them arc off in different directions.
I hate school. Sitting still, taking notes, listening to lectures about things I know already. I'll never even need to know anyway. Blah.
Well, you don't have to go to class every day.
You're taking it easy today, huh?
No, I was doing gym.
Same difference. Anyway, it's different for you. If I goof off, my brothers will catch me. Not that I care what Donald thinks.
But William is different. He's a good guy. He's always looked out for me. Where are you guys from, anyway?
Massachusetts.
Salem?
Nah, Springfield.
But were there really witches in Salem?
Sure, there still are. But I know what you mean. A lot of magical people were really connected to their homes. We tend to build a tower and defend it. If things go wrong at home, you fix them. Not so keen on moving. When times were bad for witches and wizards in Europe, they just hid better. They didn't go to America with the early colonies, not in big settlements anyway. And no wizard from Africa went there at all. So the only proper magical people around there were natives, and by the time of Salem, they didn't want much to do with the colonists. Then, a couple of kids came out wild seed, and there wasn't anyone to control them.
So, the witches they hanged were real?
No. It was only those kids who were witches, but they didn't know it. When they started doing real magic, people were just as scared as the village people. So they blamed other people when the preachers told them to, and it was the other people who got hanged. Hard luck on them. Anyway, we have schools now, so that sort of thing doesn't happen.
I guess it's important to go to school, huh?
Yeah.
I arrive in classroom, feeling slightly apprehensive. Black magic? Will there be zombies?
Good morning, everyone. Has everyone got a smock or an apron? There are plenty at the back.
Aprons? What are we going to do with those?
For those of you who are new to our magical traditions, I should reassure you that black magic has nothing to do with death or evil. There is no such thing as evil magic. There is only magic. The bad and the good come from how you choose to use it. Black is the color of weight, solidity, and permanence. Black magic is the source of... Black magic is the magic of enchantment in physical form. All wands and things like that are crafted with black magic. This does mean that cursed items can be enchanted with black magic as well, That might be how people got the wrong idea.
A pale girl with dark hair raises her hand.
Yes, Raven.
Since you're enchanting matter and the bones are matter, you could use black magic to animate a skeleton, right?
Oh, that's an interesting question. You could certainly enchant a skeleton to hold a spell or react in some way. You could set a skull to chatter its jaw when someone came near, like an alarm. But to make something that could walk around and act on its own, you'd need to bind a spirit to it, and that calls for another kind of magic. We will get to combined magic techniques later in the year. Now, one of the easiest ways to infuse magic into a physical substance is to mix things together in liquids, potions, and that's what we'll be starting with. Always remember to wear a smock or an apron. Potion stains can ruin your uniform.
And we succeeded at that. And then Friday. When I arrive at the classroom, I find Professor Potsdam standing by the chalkboard.
Good morning, Starshines. You'll need to sit down before we can start, but take your time. Relax. Get comfortable. That's very important when working with this particular style of magic.
Taking her at her word, I yawn and stretch a little before I settle into my seat.
To some people, white is the absence of color, a blank canvas. In the non-magical world, white is a complete spectrum, all colors combined into one. In some ways, you could think of white magic as either of these things. White magic is the tool you use to access the spiritual realm. Ghosts and dreams, creatures from other planes, the thoughts of those around you. With white magic, you can experience and communicate with things that are normally hidden. There is one thing I need to warn you about. Some people have tried to use white magic to control minds and spirits instead of asking for their aid. Don't do it. You will regret it. Now, shall we get on with the lesson?
What sort of warning is that? Does she mean that it won't work, or that we'll be expelled, or arrested, or our brains will melt, or what? Maybe she'll tell us more later.
And I am going to call this episode here, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.